Hey Lordstown 5th grade, Mr. Ratell here again, coming to you with lesson 12.5. We're still in the metric system and still working on conversions. Today we're going to be looking at capacity, and we're going to review really quick with our main units in like King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. There were some questions on this, so I'm hoping to be able to clear this up today. So with our story of King Henry, all that did was help us remember an order from our largest unit to our smallest unit. So this just was King Henry dies by drinking chocolate milk. All that story does is help us remember the order of these units from largest to smallest. And then that helps us remember, well, K for kilo, H for hecto, D for deca, B for base. Remember, this base could be meters, liters, or grams. We have D for deci, C for centi, and M for milli. So that story that I sent you guys about King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk is just kind of like an acronym to help us remember kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. All right? And all of these today are going to end in liters. All right? These are kind of like a prefix. Our suffix would be liters. This would be actually our base word for our metric units of measure. All right? So all of these today, since we're dealing with capacity, will end in liters. So you'll be dealing with kiloliters, hectoliters, decaliters, just liters for our base, deciliters, centiliters, and milliliters. All right? So hopefully that cleared that King Henry story up and why we are using that. All right? So now we have a couple examples to do based on your book. So we're going to start by clearing up one other question that was asked. We were struggling with, last time I was talking about start and stop and using a star and an X for X marks the spot. So I want to clear that up really quick, and hopefully this helps you guys better understand what we're talking about. So when we start, all right, the problem gives us something. So for example, 1 liter equals blank milliliters. So when I say start, that means when I'm looking at my acronym for King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, where am I going to start? What number am I starting with? Well, they give us this number 1. So my start is going to be 1 liter. That's where I have to start. I have to start, so my star at base, at 1 liter, because that's the number they give us. We have a 1, that's where we start, so that's where our star goes. Our end is going to be milliliters. We don't know how many there are. We're looking for milliliters, so that's why X marks the spot, like at the end of a treasure map. You ended the map, you ended your treasure, hopefully you found it. So your X for your question mark for the end. So hopefully that clears that up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my number 1 down here. Okay? Because I have 1 liter. Well, I know that my decimal point is right here. So now I got to figure out, if I start at base, I have to go all the way to milliliters, because I'm going from liters to milliliters. And all we have to do is move a decimal. So I start at my base and I move it to deci, well then to centi, then to milli. My X marks my spot, I'm done. I look, I moved it 1, 2, 3 place values. So in my number 1 for 1 liter, I have to move it the same direction. I went to the right, so down here I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3 place values. 1, 2, 3. We fill these in with the zeros. All right, so 1 liter equals, our decimal is now here. So this equals 1000 decimal, or 1000 milliliters. All right, so for the rest of these, I'm going to be labeling start and end, or start and stop, so you guys can see why I'm using a star in my X. Okay, so that was on page 505. That was one of the example questions they gave us. That was also a question that was asked through email. Good question, along with the start and stop. So, page 507, number 3, just to help you guys with your work. All right, same thing. I'm gonna start at 5 liters because that's the number they gave us. So this is my start. All right, my stop is gonna be milliliters. So that's gonna be my end for milliliters. So when I come down here, start is at liters. So I put a start or my star and my base for liters. I put an X marks the spot for milliliters because that's where I need to end. That's the number I'm looking for. And I count 1 place value, 2 place values, 3 place values. Sorry, that's my daughter upstairs running around. If you can hear the squeaking in the background. All right, so I moved it 3 place values. So when we look at this, I rewrite my number. 2.75 or 2 75/100ths. And I have to move it 1, 2, 3 place values again. So I take my decimal, same direction to the right. I'm moving it 1, 2, 3 place values. I don't have a value here, so I have to put in a 0. So now this equals 2750 with a decimal, or 2,750 milliliters. All right. So hopefully this start stop with my star and my X is starting to make a little bit more sense. I have one more example for you, and then we're going to do 2 quick review questions. All right. So here's another example, page 507. This is number 9. All right, and this one we wrote backwards a little bit, so you guys don't get in the habit of, well, the first number is always our start. Well, we don't know what this is. We're going to liters. We're starting at milliliters because that's the number they gave us. They gave us 5,000 milliliters, so that means we have to start here at milliliters. So I'm gonna put my star at the end for milliliters. I'm not sure how many liters I have, so I go to my base, because remember the base stands for liter, and this is what I'm looking for. So this is gonna be my start, liters is gonna be my end. So now I count. All right, well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull down 5,000 milliliters. Okay, there's my comma. Now remember, if I don't have a decimal in a number, it's always at the end. All right, so now I gotta move my decimal. So I start at milli and I go 1, 2, 3 place values. But this time I'm moving to the left. So down here, I take my decimal and I move it 1, 2, 3 place values. So my new number equals 5.000 or 5 liters. Okay? So just a quick review. These are both problems are from 12.4. Hint, they're on page 503 if you were having any issues with 503. So we're gonna go through these really quick. Same thing, except for now we're back to our length, all right? So we're measuring with meters. So now our base is gonna be meters instead of liters. So I have 4 kilometers. So this is my start. I'm going to meters. So this is my end. So K for kilometers, put my star for start, M at base, X for end, and I'm gonna move my decimal. So I move it 1, 2, 3 place values. So I'll bring my 4 down. Remember, no decimal, it goes at the end of the number. And I have to move it 1, 2, 3 place values to the right. So I move 1, 2, 3 place values. Fill these in with zeros. So this equals 4,000 decimal, or 4,000 meters. All right. And for our second question on page 503 as a review, this one's a little backwards of the one we just did. We're going to be starting at meters this time and ending at kilometers. So I'm going to rewrite King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, or kilo hecka deca base deci centi milli. To me, it's more fun to say King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So remember, meters, this time this is going to be our start because that's what they gave us. Kilometers is going to be our end because that's what we're looking for. So I put my star above the B. I put my X at kilometers. And I count 1, 2, 3 place values. So I bring down 17,000 meters. No decimal, so I put it at the end. And I have to move it 3 places to the left this time. 1, 2, 3. So this equals 17.000 or just 17 kilometers. So I hope that helped out. I hope I answered some questions and cleared some things up for you guys. Make sure if you have any questions to email me. I can put another video up at any time with more examples for you. We'll also be doing a couple more when we go into mass/weight next week. Thank you guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon, hopefully. Remember, tomorrow on Wednesday at 11:30, we'll be doing a Google Meet. Make sure to email me if you'd like to join. Have a good one.